this game. Camille likes to just split push, and Sandbox that's exactly in every single Sona.
Unfleek might just not care and try to go for the gank here.
Yep, Cyclone comes in as he almost wins that one by himself as Tempered Fate comes down as well. Summit trying to get in position. Ignite goes in onto Canna. Summit secures that kill now as Unfleek's getting so much health back from that W, but now it's ran out and he has to get underneath that turret. A magical journey comes on in and Closer not going to be able to kill the horse. And you can see at the moment is currently ahead in farm. In comparison to said here. Okay, here's the combo, but it's going to be blocked mainly, and there's a brilliant Tempered Fate. All of them still set up as the Sona is going to go down first, and T1 just mauls Sandbox. The combo just didn't work, and T1 are going to have to say thanks to their Bard, because that was a great decoy sent out by Summit, but honestly the damage has been done, and it's only going to get worse, as T1 will also funnel all of this plate gold into both Canna.
We're going to have a fun time against two of the squishiest champions in the game, right? And it looks real good against Root and Gorilla, but it also looks quite good against anyone. Even Fate was taking massive damage from WQ, from the Ezreal.
Oh my god, he exploded! X-Tech ultimatum means he can't do anything. Well, he thought that his jungle was his jungle, Valdez. His jungle is not his jungle. They're like, let's see if we can make this work. And with a Mountain Drake alive, there's no better time to start than now. As Closer comes into the side, Tempered Fate lands onto 4 members. And in goes the volley bear. Everyone just gets pounded. Teddy with a double kill. Is it going to be the triple as he is going to pick that one up? Now he's looking for that penta, but Closer says no. And Effort gonna fly on through his magical journey, and he's taking his team on one here today. Yeah, maybe.
Let's just line it up and see. I want to see the experiment.
Well, there's an Onslaught of Shadows just onto Closer. They might be able to kill him, but no, he goes golden. And Teddy, that's the ulti, doesn't really land. As now Summit's trying to do something. He's going down very, very low, but so far, Sandbox is staying alive. As I say that, though, Unfleek is going to fall. And now, the onslaught of the Teddy machine launching himself forward. Gorilla does soak one Mystic Shot. But is he going to be able to soak a gigantic Bear Smite? I do not think so. As T1 looked like they were going to play it slow, but now it's over. This game was really fun, though.
Yeah.
And it's good to see Teddy having a good time and trying to boost his pretty abysmal Ezreal stats at the moment.
Well, he certainly did that. As, wow, that was unfortunate. Nearly did 1,000 damage per minute, though, so there's that.
Yeah.
I guess that.
Welcome back everybody to the post-game analysis. It was T1 versus Sandbox. T1 was able to utilize their comp edge and pick up a win. Sandbox tried the Sona Lux comp, something that they learned from LEC and LCS. It's a double fasting strategy coming in for the bottom lane, taking 2 mage champion onto the bottom lane. Their intention is to hold on to as long as possible and supporting the bruisers, the melee champions on the top side of the map. It's really similar to the Sona Target comp that we saw last year. However, speaking of their gameplay, or the gameplay itself on Sona and Lux so far, well, this does not look as powerful as the prior Sona Target comp. And well, outside of some of the execution on those two comp, well, just T1 kind of outclassed Sandbox Gaming, especially with that outplay coming out from Bard. Sona and Lux will be able to have their power spike starting from the level 6 timing. However, well, they weren't able to boost up the bruisers and melee as well. And they're really good at countering some of the dive attempt from the opponents, but T1 was not giving the fights that Sandbox wanted. Maybe Sandbox had to aim for the late game power spike with some of the different drafts, but they were a little bit too early to kind of adapt those kind of new comp here in the LCK. Let's take a look at this laning phase first off. When there were a lot of fasting comps coming in from competitive match, we want to tell you about this kind of maximizing the best value out of these sport items. So you shouldn't farm more than 20 CS at 5-minute mark of the game. So because melee minions gives you more items, you have to kind of focus on to clearing only the melee minions, the melee creeps. It's like keto, you know? You have to get more nutrition if you're gonna kind of eat same amount of food. However, Root and Gorilla, they weren't able to kind of execute it really precisely. They were trying to trade a lot at the same time. They were trying to farm the CS, only the melee and the cannon CS, but right here they also missed that cannon creep. So the point is to go for many trades as possible and pick up all the melee minions, but they weren't able to kind of pull it off perfectly. Because Sona and Lux, they're really strong in terms of trading. They had to be a little bit more ahead of the bottom lane priority, but when they were too focused on those kind of play, they weren't able to farm efficiently enough. Well, Sona and Lux comp, they focus on the lane priority and then roam to the top side of the map to add more power and boost up their melee players. But before the point of the game was already over because of this early fight happened onto the bottom lane. T1 had really great setup, and this was about 12 mini mark of the game, but both of the support players on the side of Sandbox didn't upgrade their quest, or rather they couldn't complete their quest. They didn't activate the Sight Stone. So if they had some of the wards available, maybe they could have more vision around the bottom lane, and also they could call in other laner for TP. And also we had a very critical TP mistake coming out from Irelia. So now Lux moving towards that brush on the river kind of reflects their intention that they're looking for a fight, but there was a TP mistake, and also the engage from T1 was really clean. So they were the one losing that combat. It seems like Irelia was trying to TP onto a turret or a ward, but his mouse pointer was actually on the minimap, so he kind of TP'd onto the wrong side of the map. Well, also T1 was really good at answering that fight because because absorbed so many CC and aggro with his skill shots. Sandbox did try something new here in the LCK, but T1 was able to give a huge punch back to Sandbox with a very clean performance. It's time to check out the player of the game, and it was Effort on Bard. 100% kill participation at 15-minute mark, and this combo was everything that decided this result. Because was able to stay so long in this fight because of this fantastic ultimate coming out from Bard, and also his skill allocation as well. So now Lux usually went against Xayah Rakan comp, or sometimes even up against Blitzcrank. And up against Xayah Rakan, Sona and Lux was actually having a really good fight, but I mean, Bard is one of the meta champions, and it's a really hard counter into some of the melee champions in the League of Legends, so that was not the perfect pick up against the T1's composition, and Effort picked up 11 out of 12 votes, missing out 1 vote from media. Now let's move on to game number 2, T1 versus Sandbox Gaming.